How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Today, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Today we doing something a little different. Today is December the 2nd, 2023. On December the 2nd, 2007, no. In December 2006, my son was killed in Chicago, in Zion, Illinois. Governor O'Malley I had a program I gave Governor O'Malley. He'd approved the program in 2006, November the 28th. All right, my son was killed 4 days later in Zion, Illinois, on December the 2nd. It was a Get Shorty program. It was about guns, gangs, violence, and addressing the violence that we experience in the day. All right, y'all talking about the carjackings, all that. My son was not no innocent individual. My son was out there in the streets just like everybody else's kids. I was out there in the streets just like everybody else. Back in the day, I used to do things back in the day. I came to Baltimore and I changed my life. All right, I changed my environment. So on December the 2nd, my son got killed, and that's when everything changed. I was leaving Baltimore. My store was for sale for $150,000. My store was for sale for $150,000. Jake Davis, James Hammond, Bank of America, SunTrust Bank, Brother Insurance, Paul Weinblatt, Michael Coons, Duran Battle stole from me and the state of Maryland. The same way that you went after Marilyn Mosby, you got to go after Jake Davis and the individuals I just named. You can't have two leases on one property, and you can't sell a property in the state of Maryland without clearing the taxes. My taxes wasn't paid in 2008. Money was made off my store using my name and my likeness. That's identity theft and credit card fraud. I went home on vacation and came back on probation in December of 2007. I was locked up and incarcerated. The Waukegan new son, Miss Gion, knowingly lied to the police and filed a false police report. I'm not Emmett Till. I don't stutter when I talk. I told the Baltimore Sun, the Waukegan News Sun, I was going to file a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit against the state of Illinois about mass incarceration. All right? That's what I told them. Now we're going to do a podcast and we'll talk about all this. We're podcasting. Live. Social media for social change. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We're going to podcast this too so the world can see what being black in America is. You stand for Israel, but you won't stand for me. I stand with Palestine because that's how you treat us, like Palestinians. You treat us like property, like we're disposable, like we don't even matter. You killing our kids and you killing us. On February the 2nd, 2011, my mother died from cancer. On February the 7th, 2011, y'all locked me up and charged me with terrorism. That's my mother, Corrine Davis. All right? I'm showing you this so we don't have no misunderstandings. Social media for social change. See that? See the date? Facebook, 2011. See that case right there? That's from 1986. I turned in guns and drugs to the police. That's Lake County, Illinois. See that case right there? Y'all held me for 186 days illegally. I took a physical before I left. And that physical was with Prudential Life Insurance. I was insured for $250,000. I had $1 million policy with Brother Insurance against terrorism and terrorist acts. Y'all committed a terrorist act when y'all incarcerated me and charged me with terrorism. Y'all held me illegally and wanted me to plead guilty. I pleaded guilty, and when I got back to Maryland, I took back my guilty plea. In February of 2008, if you go to my transcripts in Illinois, I read Dred Scott into my transcripts. I'm a free man in one state and I'm a slave in another. Miss Gion and the white people can say whatever you want about black people, and that's the gospel according to God. No. I went to file a class action lawsuit, and the Waukegan New Sun was part of that lawsuit. This is the FCC right here. See that? That's the FCC in Washington, D.C. I went to file a class action lawsuit, and the media is included in that lawsuit. I'm showing the people these papers so we don't have no misunderstandings. That's a whistleblower's application. And when I started this, that's who I started it this with. I started with Senator Ben Cardin. I told Senator Ben Cardin I was making a documentary. He said he couldn't be in it. But you in the documentary. Filing a class action lawsuit because it's a class of people that you're destroying. They families, our families. Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Waukegan, Zion, North Chicago, Lake County, Illinois. See who that is? That's Attorney General Anthony Brown. See the date on it? 1/24/2003. So Mark Steiner, when you want to defend somebody, know what you're talking about before you run to their defense. That's Judge Badar. See the date? 1/26/2023. 4/26/2003. All right? That's, so I said, we filing a class action lawsuit. I'm a member of Out for Justice, an ex-felon organization. And y'all locking up black people on an astronomical rate. That's the Legislative Black Caucus. Y'all got that. See that? I'm naming y'all so we don't have no misunderstandings when the 2024 session come in. I want exoneration of the Supreme Court. I want to be exonerated by the Maryland Black Caucus, by my delegates, and I want to go to the Supreme Court. Dred Scott, do blacks have rights in which white America respects? Y'all repealed Roe versus Wade. Well, we're going to take Dred Scott off the books. Am I a Palestinian or am I an American? Because last time I checked, I'm black living in white America, treated like Palestinians over in Jerusalem. That's the Maryland Board State of Elections. We're talking about voter suppression. Voter suppression in the 2022 elections and voter suppression in the 2014 elections. You see that? That's the state prosecutor's office. And y'all gonna go get my paperwork. All my paperwork from the state prosecutor. All my paperwork from Commissioner Harris. All my paperwork from Bill Ferguson. I want you to get all my paperwork because I want all this truth to be out there. All this paperwork from Eric Barron from the Department of Justice. Eric Barron used to be a delegate Barron. Alright? Asselbrook. Everything Asselbrook got when she was a delegate. Brave boy. Braveheart. That's States Attorney Marilyn Mosby. She just got convicted. The same way that y'all went after Marilyn Mosby, y'all got to go after Jake Davis, James Hammond, Brother of Insurance, Bank of America, and SunTrust Bank. And Scott Shellenberger. See that? That's Marilyn Mosby too. See that? I went to your office. See the date? 2021 and y'all ain't did nothing. You can't use your positions of power to protect the corruption. That's Operation Greylord in Chicago. So we're going to do that in Baltimore. We're going to go after your courts and your corruption in your courts. That's Governor Westmore. You got that. 1 year in, and I still ain't got to see you. That's Ivan Bates. See the date? Voter suppression. I seen Ivan Bates the other day out in Baltimore County. Kathy, Ivan Bates, Sheriff Cogan, Kaylin, Jackie Addison. And y'all seen me talking to Scott Shellenberger. I want that white man locked up. I want that white man locked up. If you don't get locked up, I'm going to stay on y'all ass. That's Izzy Pataki. You stand for Israel, but you silent about me. You silent about me. The same way that you doing Palestinians in Israel, y'all doing the black people here. And Izzy permitted that shit. Izzy got my paperwork. Izzy was there. See the date? March 2023. March 2023. Long before Palestine went under siege. Because that's a siege in Gaza. That's Brian Frosch. See the date? 2016. See the date? You're using your positions of power in the Democratic Party to keep the corruption and the money going behind the war on drugs. I'm a whistleblower. I'm a political prisoner because I blew the whistle on the corruption in the courts. Chief Judge Badar got it. Chief Justice Roberts got it. Judge Cox got it. Judge Souter got it. And the Comptroller of Maryland got it. Peter Francott. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry in Maryland. See the date? 2016. Mayor Brandon Scott got it. Shorty, pull your mask up? No. We're going to unmask Baltimore. You had it since 2021. It's 2023, getting ready to be 2024. Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. That's Chief Judge Mary Barbera. Received 2020. In the 2020 session, I gave that to Chief Justice Mary Barbera. I gave it to the Maryland Black Caucus. I gave it to Vanessa Attenberry. I gave it to Speaker Jones. I gave it to Governor Hogan. See the date? I gave it to President Biden. Yeah. I gave it to Governor Hogan on many occasions. See it? So we don't have no misunderstandings. City, county, state, and federal levels. Kwesi Mfume, Attorney General Anthony Brown, Sheila Dixon, Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake, Commissioner Norris, Commissioner Belfield, Commissioner Batts, Commissioner Davis, T.J. Smith, Mary Bubala, Vic Carter, Kai Jackson, the Baltimore Sun. Yeah, I'm getting ready to bust y'all out. That's David Kamenetz, alright? And Johnny Oleski. That shows you how long I've been doing it. Kamenetz ain't here no more. Johnny is. Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Lake County, Illinois. The tale of three cities. Mayor Brandon Scott. Shorty, pull your mask up? No. That's April 2023. Everything that you got to turn over. We're going to have a federal investigation. Because like I said, a class action lawsuit. When we go to court, it's going to be like Watergate. That's Sheila Roof. See who that is? The Public Justice Center. So we all got everything on the table. I'm doing toilets. Because in 2006, that's what I started doing, toilets. Call it potty training politicians. My son Jarrell gave me the idea when I was potty training and when he was growing up. If you go to Found Studios, I'm selling toilets. I'm on the shelf. 2023, 2024, like I said, exoneration of the Supreme Court. Social media for social change. That's the IRS. Taxation without representation is a denial of my constitutional rights. David Irwin told y'all that I was innocent of all those charges. This is David Irwin right here. See that? Scott Shellenberger knowingly lied to the grand jury, presented false evidence to the grand jury. So I told you I was going to make a documentary and a movie about it. That's a movie release. That's Governor Hogan. Alright? Since y'all refuse to sign the movie releases, I use social media. Social media for social change. Elon Musk from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah. I don't need you to sign a movie release. When I put that camera in your face, all you got to do is answer my questions. That's who I used to be. Y'all talk about the war on drugs? That's me right here. Territorial drug dispute, 1981, 82. All right? 1986, I turned in guns and drugs to the police at the police station. I turned in my client list. That shit was scandalous. Talk about the murder and death of us here in America. The same way that you killing Palestinians, you killing us. I stand with Palestine, and this is why. Because you won't stand for us. You feel me? Black lives don't matter. Black money do. And we worth more dead or locked up than anything else. Black lives don't matter. Black money do. I was kidnapped. See that? These are the charges. I was kidnapped. And Commissioner Harris got this. See that? I'm an activist. It's the RICO Act. See the RICO Act? I know the law. I'm a jailhouse lawyer. I ain't a jailhouse snitch. My name ain't on nobody's indictment. But I got a lot of people on mine. That's Commissioner Harris. And that's Commissioner Harris. Like I said, Operation Greylord. That's Westmore. That's Kwesi Mfume, Senator Cardins, Eric Banner, Department of Justice, Adrian Jones, Attorney General Anthony Brown, Mayor Brandon Scott, County Executive Johnny Oleski, and President Biden. I never got a trial. Emmett Till. I don't stutter when I talk. The state of Maryland told me to file charges. I filed charges against Scott Shellenberger. Here's the charges. See them? I filed those charges. Very clearly. Right here. Very clear. On February the 2nd, 2011. Alright? You got that? On February the 6th, I shot footage of the toilet. See that? Those was criminal charges against Scott Shellenberger. So when I see you in public, I gave those criminal charges to Chief McCullough, Joy Lolapulla, the public liaison. She got them charges. Like I said, taxation without representation is a denial of my constitutional rights. That's Judge Carrion. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. That's Governor Westmore. Alright? That's the judiciary. That's Chief Mary Barbera. That's Natasha from the Public Defender's Office. See the date? October 1st. October 1st, 2022. That's been over a year. And nobody want to respond to that mail. You stand for Israel, 2024, you're going to stand for me. That's Attorney General Anthony Brown. Alright? See who that is? Ivan Bates, State's Attorney. Xavier Conway, Clerk of the Court. I filed my paper with the Clerk of the Court, and the Clerk of the Court sent that shit back. Jared Germantes. We talking about voter suppression. So we're going to have a federal investigation. Social media for social change. I'm going to make sure that they do this investigation. Putting your hands on me going to cost you more money. Locking me up, I get what I want. I get locked up, I go to court. I go to court, I get a trial. I get a trial, I'm calling you as a witness. I'm calling you as a witness, Mark Steiner. WEEA Radio. Today, Mark Steiner jumped on my post, said that Anthony Brown ain't part of this machine. Anthony Brown is part of it. You want to defend somebody? Stand up for yourself. Like I said, I got your message. Fuck. I got your message. Like I said, I got your message. That's Mark Steiner right there. WEA Radio. Dr. K. Black Mama Activist. WEA Morgan State. We talking about the haves versus the have-nots. So Mark Steiner, if you got something to say, contact your boy Anthony Brown. You got something to say? Ask them. I'm pulling these cards out because I'm not from around here. See, I'm from Illinois. And if I got something to say about somebody, I say it to them first. And then I say it to whoever want to listen. But the only people I want to respond to is the people I'm talking to. Anybody else is irrelevant. See who got it? Speaker Jones. See who got it? Izzy Pataki. See who got it? Anthony Brown. See who got it? Maryland Black Caucus. Delegate Stephanie Smith. You feel me? That's Delegate Stephanie Smith, and she had it since 2022. Ivan Baston had it since the first of the year. You feel me? Racism don't work without black cooperation. And these are black representatives in our black community. That's Al Redmer. Because like I said, I was insured for $1 million, and y'all got to pay that policy off. That's President Obama. He asked for an investigation in 2008. Eric Holder, Department of Justice. Brian Frost, Attorney General. Governor Hogan. And the IRS. We talking about $250 million intellectual property theft. Ain't no law against making a movie. You made The Wire. So I'm going to make this social media for social change. Ain't no different than The Wire. You feel me? Ain't no different than The Wire. That's President Biden, and that's President Trump. That's President Biden, President Trump. That's Eric Barron. That's Delegate Sheila Roof. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. And that's Peter Francott. Like I said, federal and state audit. Everything since 2008. And like I said, y'all got cards, so I'm going to pull your cards. These are your cards. So you can't say I didn't talk to you. Senator Van Hollen. Okay? Sarbanes. Board of Elections. We clear on this? You wouldn't have believed me if I didn't tell you. And I filed charges again. Like I said, I filed them twice. That's Scott Shellenberger. Alright? That's Scott Shellenberger. Shellenberger, your weakest link. And that's Visitor's Pass. States Attorney's Office, December the 1st, 2014. That's Greg Bernstein. Feel me? And that's my Department of Justice ID number, 2911907. That's Greg Bernstein. And that's Scott Shellenberger. Y'all got to criminally charge Scott Shellenberger. All the cases that Scott Shellenberger had since 2011, when y'all locked me up, going to be reversed and remanded. The same way that you went after Marilyn Mosby, you got to go after Shellenberger. Y'all seen me at the town hall. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. I'm an activist. And y'all called me a terrorist, I'm going to terrorize you with the truth and more toilets. I'm going to stay in y'all's ass. And ain't nothing that you can do about it. Like I said, end game. Supreme Court, exoneration, in the movies. Starring Scott Shellenberger. You feel me? Starring Scott Shellenberger. I don't get no trial. You don't get no peace. Senator Cardin's getting ready to retire. When he retires, he can be subject to a criminal investigation. If Blagojevich can go to jail, everybody whose card I pull can go to jail. It's a criminal enterprise. The RICO Act. Racketeering and fraud. Fraud in the court. Fraud in the Democratic Party. Fraud in the Republican Party. Yeah, we the people got rights. And I know how to use them. You feel me? I know how to use them. Choose what you're going to do. We're going to beat these streets. You feel me? Art and activism. The art of protest. I'm an activist.